have the first departure of the off-season. It looks like Barca and Italian club Como have reached an agreement for the sale of Alex Bayet. The Italian side, who had him in loan since January, were clearly impressed with his performance and didn't hesitate to activate their buy option, reportedly around 6 million euros. Despite interest from other clubs like Real Betis and even Borussia Dortmund, it seems that this deal will be finalized very soon. This move makes a lot of sense, especially with Cesc Fabregas now in Como. He brings this whole La Masia mentality in relationship to this club, creating more opportunities for players like Valle. And it's a great move for the young player, because he found consistency and continue his development. Another departure that's been on everybody's mind is that of Ansu Fati. It looks increasingly likely that he's going to be transferred to Monaco. It has been reported that he also favored, the move to the French league. Now, there's other teams like Chelsea who are in the hunt, but Monaco seems to be the front runner. Chelsea always tries to buy everybody, and they just have too many teams on their players, and they don't know their direction. But according to the super journalist Fabrizio Romano, Barcelona and Monaco are currently negotiating a transfer that expected about to be around 20 million euros, but is with a crucial details. It's all in the details. It will be included a very important buyback clause that could significantly benefit Barca if Ansu, becomes his old self and reaches his best form. And if that could attract, maybe interest from other big clubs with bigger money. Barca, actually agrees with Monaco's proposal, due to their playing style. The clubs believe that this is the best option for Ansu Fati now, so he can play consistently in a dominant offensive team that controls the ball a lot. They think the Monaco approach, and they like that, and they think that he will benefit on Ansu Fati. This could be a fresh start that he needs. Now we know that Ansu Fati was not called up for the Spanish national team, which kind of further highlights his current situation. But let's do talk about what's happening and what's the situation between the sticks. Our goalkeeper situation. There's a name that's been floating around lately, and that is Joan Garcia, the current goalkeeper from Espanyol. Now, he has a price tag around 25 million euros, and it's not a surprise that he's been attracting the interest from a lot of people in Europe. Accordingly to Cadena Ser, Garcia is set to play in La Liga, with Barcelona being one of the teams that is, a rumor. But I don't know, guys. This is Espanyol we're talking about. There's so much bad blood between these two teams. They really do not like each other. I don't think that Espanyol would try to sell a player to Barcelona, or at least they would not want to make it easy. I think the player would really have to want to go to Barcelona, and the club would just have to kind of grant that to him and not, just ask for as much money as they can get. Just consider this, our current situation. Andre Ter Stegen is now 33 years old. He has 3 major knee surgeries. And with his future, it's a little of an enigma. 3 big knee surgeries. He's 33 years old. He's a captain. Yes, I think he's the solution for now. But what's going to happen in the next few years? Now, Chechny, he's 35, had a great season with us. He was in retirement, came back for Barcelona. There's still a lot of doubt, and just it's not a window for the future. It looks like Chechny and Ter Stegen will both continue for now, and also our La Masia players are still too young. Our goalkeepers are still too young, and they need to be developed more. So Joan Garcia, who is absolutely key at saving Espanyol's season from relegation, had an incredible season, 146 saves, and it is the goalkeeper of now and the future. Teams like Real Betis and Valencia are also keen on him, and the competition is definitely real. Besides that, and I think that we should talk about this in another episode, things like fair play. If you sign a player and then loan him out, I think you still have to to register him, which it can complicate things financially. The only other rumor or the only other name that I've heard from any goalkeeping, it's Dibu Martinez, who currently has a contract until 2029. I think this is just whisper for now. Deco himself stated recently that he knows nothing about goalkeepers, which is interesting. But we have a German coach German coaches prefer keepers who are excellent on their feet. And I guess, we also need to find out an exit for Iñaki Peña, who looks to be departing this season. I do want to talk about our Barcelona players representing their nations on this upcoming European, national trips. Six of our very young Blaugranas players have been called up for the upcoming UEFA Nations League semifinal against France from the Spanish national team. We're talking about Gavi, Fermin, Dani Olmo, Pedri, Pau Cubarsí, and of course Lamine Yamal. That's a really strong Barcelona lineup there. I just wish this guy's kids. I mean, Lamine Yamal is kind of like a kid, but not anymore. I really hope they don't get hurt. There's a lot of football for them, which just brings me to this. Robert Lewandowski, our number 9, he said on Instagram that he will not be joining Poland for the next fixture against Moldova and Finland. He explained that he needs a well-deserved rest after an incredible season with Barcelona. His most phenomenal season with Barcelona, where he won 3 trophies and scored 42 goals in all competitions. And I think it's the best decision for him. He's definitely a breaking scoring machine. I think it's interesting that he's choosing to stay resting. Another of our key players that has been called up is Rafinha for the Brazilian national team. And I'll say honestly, if I was, if it was up to me, I wouldn't want to let Rafinha go. He's had a demanding season. He's a Ballon d'Or candidate, and now Carlo Ancelotti, who is the manager of Brazil, kind of surprisingly, but not so much surprisingly, did not call up Rodrigo for the national squad, which it could mean more minutes for Rafinha. So I don't know. I don't know where we go from here, but they're gonna call up Rafinha. It's already happening. Another one that I'm keeping an eye on is Frankie De Jong. I don't know if he's gonna be called up yet. I don't see any news for it. And Mark Ter Stegen, the goalkeeper again, 33 years old, came off from another third knee surgery. Um, the current German coach for the German national team likes him, and he said that's his player, like his goalkeeper. I'll keep an eye on him. I'm sure he's gonna play for the semifinal of the UEFA Nations League. But finally, I do want to talk about this. Let's turn our attention to our biggest rival. I know the 4 point difference between Barcelona and Real Madrid in the league this season doesn't look like a lot, but it reflects a significant gap of level between the football of these two clubs. Especially consider that Barcelona beat Real Madrid every time this season. On their attack, Kylian Mbappe finished La Liga as La Liga Pichichi with a massive 31 goals, while our own, Robert Lewandowski had just 27. Xabi Alonso will be the new manager for Real Madrid, and they set to start this chapter with the Club World Cup here in the United States. After, speaking about that tournament, I think it's a huge deal because the Club World Cup, which is a new tournament, is expected to bring about 100 million euros for the winning team, which is a similar amount that if you were to win the UEFA Champions League. So it's not just prestige, it's a big financial boost for any team. It'll be interesting to see how Real Madrid performs under Xabi Alonso in this new tournament. So, Kules, the transfer saga is starting up. I don't have a feel that we're going to have a big signing. I keep hearing from Deco that he likes to grow players from within, take care of our players. I saw earlier that Ivan Cedric from Cameroon might have interest from, I think it's on Wolfston, or let me see. I don't think I see. Oh yeah, Watford. Watford. Yes, Ivan Cedric. Ivan Cedric, which is the best goal scorer in Barca Athletic, is getting some chatter from Watford. He's an amazing talent from Cameroon. I don't think he's going to be called up for Cameroon, but we'll see. So Colette, the transfer saga is heating up, and our players are going to be representing their nations next week. And we have a lot of things to see what happens. What are your thoughts on John Garcia? How do you feel about Robert Lewandowski resting? And please let me know everything on the comments below. My name is Pedro, also known as Orrutio. I'll guys, talk to you guys later. Visca Barça.